I don't know. Maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. It's the Living Sober podcast. I'm your host, Phil P. It's the recap. Blaming myself for everything. Do I really need to be sorry? I'm doubting my memories. There's this thing in recovery called an appalling lack of perspective. The way I think things are ain't really, how it is. And I'm gaslighting myself. That was my takeaway from last week's episode. I was saying like, man, people are gaslighting me. You better look out for gaslighting. And gaslighting, or self-gaslighting, should I say, is when I doubt my own reality. Maybe I'm questioning if something really happened from my past. Talk about trauma, forget about it. Everybody did the best they could, but I continued to play victim in recovery. Neither here nor there. So I kind of internalize stuff, and it's the inner fuel that sparks that gaslighting of myself. So it's difficult for me to not only process complex emotions, but it's also tough for me to differentiate the true from the false, or real or imagined. Feeling like I can't trust myself when I'm taking a trip, not taking a trip, or if I'm likely to implode on a coworker because I'm imagining that they might say something to me. I'm like a ticking time bomb, and that's self-gaslighting. Second guessing is a big part of my deal. Being indecisive. Or how about this scenario? You leave a room and you're wondering like what people are saying about you, or did you say the right thing? Gaslighting, self-gaslighting. It's a regulation. It's a regulatory function. Again, it's weird. It's hardwired, and it's part of my neuroses. So I ain't going to beat myself up about it. But like I said, it ain't them. It ain't them. It ain't them. It's me. So I got to control my own emotions and keep my own balance and not worry about all the outside stuff. So how do we remedy? Well, I got to be keen, you guys. I got to stay aware. I got to spot this stuff. As having that appalling perspective, like I talked about, it's tough for me to kind of see it coming from a mile away. I think part of being in recovery, or addicts and alcoholics, it's a twofold deal that makes me unique and makes people of my kind unique. I think alcoholics and addicts, one, our brains tell us that it'll be different this time, right? And the second thing is that appalling perspective. Like, I just cannot see the reality sometime, and it can't differentiate real or imagined. And hardwiring is rewiring, should I say, is what's been being used. This neuroplasticity, this trauma reinforced therapies, and all of this other stuff. We are talking about deprogramming all that bad wiring out there. Easier said than done, right? Self-aware, right? So I see it coming. I got knowledge of self, and I know me. What's really cool about getting in recovery is that I kind of get to know myself. Now, it's not fun at first, looking at the man in the mirror, clearing my head, and then I find out that, I'm the problem, or I got a lot of like growing up to do, or internal growth. That's really hard. So becoming self-aware has its pains, but it's so worth it. Kind of like honesty. It's not always hard to tell the truth and get 100% real about where I'm at. But once I do, it's like a whole nother level of like freedom, should I say. Outside help. Talking about going to see the doctor. What's that old song? Go see the doctor. Recovery groups and 12-step programs and smart recovery and God, all that stuff works really good for me not drinking. But when it comes to all that other stuff, that trauma, those other vices, the stuff I can't really let go of, general mental health, I got to go see the doctor. Living sober.